Hey gang, just again, once again, Project Lead the Way, Introduction to Engineering Design, IED. I'm going to do this third for 4.2 here, activity 4.2. I'm going to do this third one right here, or the third one. That's the second one. That's the second one. Most of you have already done this one, so let's move on to the third one. And if I look at this view drawing here, I've got to decide what's my best plan of action to conquer this part. And from looking at it, I'm guessing I could do the back of that. Come this direction here, and then cut those parts out. But I'm looking at this going, okay, probably the front view. If I do this view here, and then I can cut this part out, and I can cut that part out on Inventor. That's probably the easiest way to do it. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw this L shape right here. So let me go to Inventor, start a new drawing. So I clicked on New up here. Standard IPT, since it's inches, I'm going to go to English in inches. Hit Create. And as you know, it takes a little while for it to come up, so I'll pause it now until it's ready to go. Okay, my screen's come up now, and obviously my different views or whatever have not shown up there. Sketch surfaces, so I'm going to click on 2D sketch, make sure it's on 2D sketch. Click on this surface here. Now all I'm going to do is I'm just going to come into here and grab a line. I'm just going to draw the L shape. Okay, so I'm going to come like this, go like this, come up here. I'll go to the right here, make sure it's perpendicular, going straight up. Make sure we're got that set there. Coming down here. Going across here. I don't even have to make sure it's perfect. Remember that? But you can see how that I'm going to hit escape here. I'm going to delete that line. See how it's going down a little bit of an angle. I want to go perpendicular, so I'm going to click horizontal there. So I'm going to click on line here. Now watch what happens here. I like to do this. See, if I can come over here and I click. Do you see how the little yellow dot that's following my mouse there? When that turns green, that's now an object snap where it's actually snapping right to that point, the end point of that line. If I come to the middle there, it turns green, and the midpoint, you can see right there, it turns green. That's the midpoint of that line, and that's the intersection. So there's object snaps to snap directly to it. We always want to use those object snaps. So now that I exit out of the line, I got to start the line again. So I'm going to click on that point here. Make sure I'm going horizontal here. Right there, there it is. Come straight down. Right there, and come across here. Until it turns green, and then I'm done. Hit escape to exit out of my line. Now I'm going to go to dimensions, and I got to go back to my drawing here and find my dimensions. So let me do that here. So it's 3.5 and 2.5. So 3.5 wide by 2.5 long. So this is 3.5 here, and this is 2.5. So click here, 2.5. And I can zoom back, or I just hit front view, and it comes back and zooms all the way back. Okay, so there's that part. Now let me go back over here, and let's look here. So now it's going to be, this is 1 tall here. This goes up 1 and over, and then we know the rest. Okay, so I'm going to make this 1 here, dimension this 1. And then I've got to do this one here. I've got to get the width of that one. Let me look at what that is again here. And this is, let's see, comes back this way 1. Okay, see the dimension right there is 1. So there we go. So 1 here. This one's 1 here. And it's fully constrained. You can see it's all blue down at the bottom right corner here. It's fully constrained. I know some of you guys have had problems with that. I wouldn't be too concerned about it. As long as you've got all the dimensions in, you're okay. So click OK, finish. Zoom back here. Hit extrude. Now I got to look and find out what I'm extruding it to. I'm going back how far this way here. It's going to be, so it's 1.5, 2 plus 0.5 is 2.5. So 2.5 back, 2.5. There it is. Now that part's done. Okay. So now if I look at my drawing here, and I see that, okay, I'm going to cut this part out. It's a 1/2 inch down, a 1/2 inch in, and a 1/2 inch in over here. Do you see that? Okay, so I'm just going to come in 1/2 inch over and draw a rectangle or some type of box over there to do that, 1/2 inch over. So, but my sketching surface is going to be this surface right here. So I click on sketch, I click on the surface I want to sketch on, and now I'm going to just draw a rectangle. Just draw a rectangle right from this line right here. It can be right on that line. Oops, I missed the line. You can see how I missed the line there. I don't want to miss that line. I want to make sure I'm on that line. Once I've done that, I dimension, hit D on the keyboard, click on this line to this line, that's 0.5. Click on this line to this line, that's 0.5. And I can click on this line to this line, and that's also 0.5. I could have actually made this rectangle a lot bigger, because all it matters is it's got to be above that, but then when I dimension, I just got to make sure. Let me do that too to make it a little easier for you. So let me undo all that stuff that I just did there. Okay, now I'm going to draw a rectangle, and this time I'm going to draw it above it. Okay, because I don't really care. It can cut out stuff that's not there. It's just my dimensioning has to be right. So again, go from here to here, 0.5. From here to here, 0.5. But this time, instead of going from this part to down, it's going to go from this line to this line, and that's 0.5. So now I finish the sketch. I hit extrude. I click on this area right there. You see how it's coming forward? I want to cut it out. So that's the second one. See how it says cut right there? I'm going to cut it out. And I just want to say, click on this to go to all. It'll make sure it cuts it all through. You can see how, yeah, it's above it, but it doesn't matter because that's part of what I'm cutting out. It doesn't make a difference, okay? That's why I like to do sometimes when I'm just cutting all the way up to the top, instead of trying to select that top line, it's hard to grab. It doesn't matter if you go over it. So hit extrusion, click on that. Now my next sketch is going to go on this surface. So click on there, click here. Let's look at what the sizes are. It's 1 in and 0.5, and it goes 1.5 deep. So I'm going to draw a rectangle again. Again, I'm going to draw just a rectangle that goes farther out. So dimension goes 1 in this way, right? So that's 1. This is 0.5 from here to here is 0.5. And then this from here to here, I think was, I don't remember what it was. Let's take a look. Sorry, my 1.5. Okay, there we go. So it's 1.5. Now again, I went past the line, but I know that this is 1.5 from this point up to there. So finish sketch, click extrude, choose this section right here. You see how it changes color? Choose cut. It automatically changes down, but I can always switch it back and forth, whichever way I want to go. Change the distance to all. Click OK, and there's that part. All right? Enjoy.